The Chicagoland metropolitan area is currently grappling with the severe aftermath of a consecutive, multi-day severe weather outbreak. A volatile atmospheric setup has unleashed a train of severe thunderstorms across northeastern Illinois and northwest Indiana. These systems have produced destructive straight-line winds, peaking between 70 to 80 miles per hour, relentless cloud-to-ground lightning strikes, and unprecedented torrential rainfall rates. The National Weather Service, NWS, in Chicago, has issued multiple flash flood warnings encompassing Cook County, Will County, DuPage County, and portions of neighboring Indiana. The timing of this severe weather sequence has caused widespread disruption to infrastructure, major transportation hubs, and highly anticipated Independence Day holiday celebrations. The severe weather event is driven by a slow-moving, moisture-rich frontal boundary interacting with a highly unstable air mass characterized by high convective available potential energy, CAPE, values, and strong deep-layer wind shear. This environment has facilitated the development of training thunderstorms, a phenomenon where multiple storm cells continuously move over the exact same geographical areas like cars on a train track. As a result, localized rainfall totals have quickly escalated, with some sectors of Chicagoland recording an astronomical 3 to 5 inches of rain within a very short time frame. The primary hazards associated with this specific system include microbursts and intense squall lines mimicking tornado-like damage, precipitation falling at rates exceeding 2 inches per hour, easily overwhelming urban drainage systems, high-frequency electrical discharges causing structural fires and utility failures. The combination of ferocious wind gusts and saturated soil has led to a catastrophic number of downed trees, snapped utility poles, and severed power lines. Major energy provider ComEd reported that tens of thousands of customers across the metropolitan area lost power simultaneously. Emergency utility crews are working around the clock, but the sheer volume of tangled debris and blocked roadways has slowed down the restoration process in the hardest-hit suburban subdivisions and city neighborhoods. The deluge has completely saturated the ground, turning roads into fast-moving rivers and submersing low-lying underpasses. The structural impact was vividly captured at the historic Wrigley Field, where torrential rains completely overwhelmed the stadium's infrastructure, leaving the iconic inner concourses and subterranean corridors heavily flooded with several inches of standing water. Similar flooding issues have been reported in residential basements, commercial parking lots, and major expressways, forcing vehicle abandonments. The timing of the storm system could not have been more disruptive, hitting at the peak of the 4th of July holiday weekend. Municipalities across the entire Chicago suburbs and the downtown lakefront were forced to make last-minute operational decisions to preserve public safety. Dozens of traditional community parades, outdoor concert series, and elaborate fireworks displays were abruptly canceled or indefinitely postponed. Local park districts and emergency management agencies issued urgent evacuation notices to clear out open public spaces, community parks, and festival grounds before the worst of the squall lines made direct impact. Meteorologists noted brief, deceptive lulls in precipitation during the early morning hours. The atmospheric instability remains high. A secondary wave of severe convective cells and high-intensity rainfall is projected to redevelop, sweeping across the Chicago metro area from the afternoon into the early evening hours before conditions finally stabilize late tonight. The National Weather Service and local emergency management officials have urged the public to strictly adhere to the following safety protocols until all warnings are officially lifted. Never attempt to drive, walk, or swim through flooded roadways or underpasses. It takes less than 12 inches of rushing water to carry away a standard passenger vehicle. If you hear thunder, you are close enough to the storm to be struck by lightning. Move indoors to a sturdy building immediately. Avoid picnic sheds, tents, or covered porches. Due to the persistent threat of 70+ miles per hour winds, ensure patio furniture, trash bins, and holiday decorations are securely anchored or brought inside to prevent them from becoming dangerous airborne projectiles. Disconnect sensitive electronic equipment to prevent damage from power surges. Avoid using corded phones or running water, as plumbing and electrical wiring can conduct lightning strikes. A severe thunderstorm watch is in effect for Cook, DuPage, Grundy, Kankakee, Kane, Kendall, LaSalle, and Will counties in Illinois and Lake, Newton, Porter, Jasper, and Benton counties in Indiana until 2 a.m. A flood watch is also in effect for Cook, DeKalb, DuPage, Will, Grundy, Kendall, Kane, Lake, and LaSalle counties in Illinois, and Lake County in Indiana until 4 a.m. Winds of up to and over 80 miles per hour were reported, as well as many reports of downed branches and trees, and flooding throughout Chicago and most suburbs. In Evanston, roads were blocked by large downed tree limbs that toppled onto cars. 3 people were hurt, including at least one person who firefighters said was impaled when a branch broke through the windshield in the 800 block of Brown Street. Fire officials said 3 people were in the car at the time. They were taken to a local hospital for treatment, where their conditions have stabilized. No further information was immediately available. Power outages are also being reported, and ComEd says more than 59,000 customers without service due to the storms as of 10 p.m. Periods of thunderstorms are likely to continue through Saturday morning and into the day, but a full washout of the holiday weekend is not expected. Still, it may be a good idea to have indoor backup plans in place for the 4th of July. The biggest risks for Friday's storms are wind gusts over 60 miles per hour, torrential rain, and dangerous lightning. Areas around the DuPage River are at the highest risk for flooding. But the storms will also break the heat wave that has hovered over the Chicago area all week, with more seasonal summer temperatures over the weekend and calmer and cooler next week. Celebrations in Aurora, Deerfield, Highland Park, Oak Brook, and more have been canceled because of the storms, flooding, and lightning risks. Passengers on the CTA Yellow Line had to be rescued after part of a tree fell on the tracks during Thursday night's storms. The Evanston Fire Department said a tree fell and landed on a moving train just before midnight. Multiple passengers had to be rescued and helped off the train down a steep slope to safety. Out of nowhere, it just started shaking and everybody's on the floor trying to brace themselves, passenger Christina said. All of a sudden, train stops, half the lights go out. I'm like, oh, something happened, didn't it? Passenger Isai said. They actually chopped down with a bunch of saws the actual pathway through the forest, and like you said, they had a couple of ropes, and we were just instructed to hold the ropes, and it was a very steep elevation at that spot, and we just took the rope and went all the way down. The train, which was carrying several passengers at the time, derailed. It was pretty bumpy for a while, passenger Nick said. I think the car was knocked off the tracks. I'm pretty happy that we didn't flip. Firefighters had to rescue people from inside the train, walking them down a steep slope pathway they created to safety. They tried to chainsaw actually a pathway so we could walk down because there is no way out. We are elevated up there, so there was really no way to get down unless they helped us get down, passenger Christina said. The Yellow Line resumed service Friday morning. Meanwhile, also in Evanston, massive trees snapped, narrowly missing one person's home. Years ago, I personally went to the city and said we want to trim this tree, Evanston resident Murnel said. Murnel said he's been trying to have this tree trimmed on Emerson near Dewey in Evanston for years. He knew it would soon become a problem. Branches landed in his neighbor's front yard, blocking the sidewalk and part of the road. Just around the corner, another massive tree fell nearby. Thankfully, it doesn't look like it hit a home either. The torrential rain and high winds also brought down trees in Elmhurst, where a massive branch ripped from its side, crashing down and partially hitting a neighbor's home. And in St. Charles, a tree fell onto an elderly couple's home. It sounds like the couple is okay after having to be rescued by firefighters there.